Okay. Yo, what's up, guys? I'm just gonna start making a devlog series because hopefully it'll keep me on track here and make sure that I'm actually working on it. So I'm just gonna show off what I've made so far. This game it doesn't have a name nor a defined genre yet. But it's gonna be like an extraction sort of roguelike game. I'm also just gonna leave this totally unedited because it's just easier for me. So yeah, let me just show you what I've been working on. So right here we have the player. This is the player sprite over here. I'm pretty happy with it. So what I did first is I made checks for the right key, left key, like that, just movement checks. And I when you press A, it switches the player to left. When you press D, it switches the player to right. Set the speed. I set some collisions here. And I also made some, let's see. I made a starting menu. Let me just show you what we got right now. So as you can see, this is a very bland menu. But I just wanted to get a menu in, just as proof of concept, that I can actually make a nice starting menu, and then when you press it, you go into the game. I will show off the sound effects later, but I have them muted right now because they're very loud. So right now, and this little, let me actually fix this real quick. Okay. So you hit play and you get thrown into this tutorial world. This is not going to be here. This is also just proof of concept. Also, you can attack and interact with items I have not put up there yet. You can see you have a little inventory box. There's not much to do in the tutorial world, but you can kind of see that there's a crowbar down here. So you got to try to make your way over. You see this sewer drain, but obviously you can't do anything with it yet. So you walk all the way down. And then you interact with the crowbar. It plays a sound effect and you pick it up. Before I go on, let me sort of give you the rundown of the game. So it's like that one Backrooms level, where it's like that liminal space where you're in a pool. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'll pull it up on the screen. But it's pretty much that. The story is that you were a diver and you got sucked into a drain. You can sort of see the drain up here, and you pretty much just ended up in this liminal space. I'll show you the attack animations real quick. Animations aren't that great, but they'll suffice right now. Again, I started making this, I think, 3 days ago, so December 4th of 2023. It is now the 7th. Anyway, so to get on with the tutorial level, you know how to pick up items now because it will be up here, and you know how to interact with stuff. So you interact with the sewer grate, and now the game actually starts. So this is going to be an extraction kind of game, similar to a game like Lethal Company. But I don't know how I'm going to differ from that yet. But we'll see as the game develops. As we see our first enemy right here. This is a ghost type enemy that I've made. But which, when you hit him with the crowbar, he just instantly disappears. He doesn't really have much animation. Nor does he have any sound effects, but that will be added later. So you walk down here. This first level is going to remain the same every single time. You're going to have, this is a placeholder texture and a placeholder room for an extraction point, because there are, see, that's a bug that I've been running into that I still have to fix. For some reason, the game just does that. Let me go into here real quick and just delete these, just to make it easier on myself for this video. So I'm making this in Game Maker Studio, if you couldn't tell. This is not going to be a very organized series. I am just sort of rambling as I'm showing you what I've made. Okay. So you walk in, you see that there's the extraction room down there that we checked out earlier. There's going to be some item spawns around the map like this one here. You press G to drop, by the way. I am going to have to include that too. But you pick this up. Hold on. I gotta try to grab the crowbar. Come on! There we go. Alright. So you can pick this up and this is embarrassing. I'm just gonna delete this guy, dude. I'm just gonna delete him. Alright. So I plan on having some enemies in that first, I'm not gonna have any enemies in this tutorial level, but as soon as you get out of the tutorial level into here, I do plan on having some enemies here, because I also plan on having some items. Yeah, so leave my crowbar up there. You can pick these items up right now. You can pick them up and drop them, and you see they leave and they enter the inventory box, but it's not really much to do with this. You can attack with the crowbar, but that is it. Like, so I'm planning on having like upgrades, you know, like you can buy another inventory slot, you can increase your sight. I'm gonna make the sight limited at the beginning until you upgrade it, but yeah, pretty much you would just drop it into here or something of the like, or like interact with it, and it'll get sent up and you'll get money or whatever. I'm planning on better items spawning when you get lower, as well as getting more money for items when you get lower. But now we enter upon this room, which the textures and everything, these are not final. I'm gonna add more detail like these have over here. I just haven't made corner pieces yet. So there's nothing up here. The tutorial level and this level are going to be a mainstay, but as you will see shortly, I have put some randomizer into it. So you can see that this is slightly darker. This is supposed to signify a door. I will make it more apparent later. But as you can see, we spawn in another level, which I'm planning on making it like one of two ways. Like a so it can be random-ish without me having to go through the trouble of totally randomizing it, like making a like a procedural generation, which is just easier on me to manually make the levels than to make a procedural generation. So as you're going to get lower and lower, it's going to get darker and darker, and you can see this room has a brown tint for reasons that will be shown in later devlogs that I don't want to reveal now. Yeah, so this is pretty much the gameplay. I'm definitely planning on adding a ranged weapon, as well as more better melee weapons, because the range on this one is kind of terrible. It's kind of hard to even hit anything. Although the collision box is like, I set the collision box to only your legs, and this gets like a full range sweep of it. When you have an enemy that's above you or below you, you can't attack them. You can only attack enemies from side to side. So I'm gonna try to work that out. Maybe just add. Maybe I'll leave the crowbar like this and just add other items that um other items that have a higher attack range and can actually like swing and hit everything. I'm also planning on adding multiplayer to this game just because multiplayer makes everything more fun. Now let's just go over some of the code and what I've done. So for this, one thing that I wanted to highlight that I have made a mistake on, but I'm too lazy to go and fix it, is this drain code. Actually this key. So, as you can see, this is obviously a crowbar, but I originally had the sprite as a key, and now when it's dropped, the crowbar turns into this object rather than staying as one object like this diver helmet. So this is definitely coded better, but I'm planning on adding this, literally all of this code into a function, so I can just call the function rather than having to write this out for every new item. This ghost AI is pretty easy. It just adds 0.5 to the X and Y value. It adds 0.5 to the X value every step or every frame, and subtracts the Y value by 0.5 every frame. And if the Y value is less than the player's Y position, it actually adds 1. So that equals out to being plus 0.5 every step. And then obviously the X is the opposite. And when it's hit, when the crowbar attack, when it collides with the crowbar, if the crowbar attack is set to 1 or true, then it switches to a blank sprite that I made. And then if it touches the player, you go to a dead room, which I haven't really done anything on yet. Let's see what else I can show off. Oh, I made, so this is the GUI. If global.crowbar equals 1, this pretty much means if you have picked up the crowbar, then it just gets added to your inventory, which is the GUI. And if it equals 0, which means you drop the crowbar, then it leaves. Same with the diver helmet. I should probably also make that a function. A lot of stuff I need to do yet. Obviously very early stages. Also, this right here, I have a sprite that is literally just a black screen. It's literally just black. The lower and lower you get, I am going to add a filter on it because I do not know how to do lighting yet, but the lower and lower you get, it's gonna get darker and darker pretty much. And I might add like a flashlight item, something, you know. I will show off the sounds now. Let's see. Okay, I think this should be working. So I'm not gonna talk, and I'm just gonna let some gameplay run so you guys can hear it. So yeah, that's the game so far. I don't know if I'm gonna edit this at all. I might just straight up upload it, but Yeah.